Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
What if Pennywise isn't the true evil in Derry? What if that grease-painted smile, those predatory eyes, and the red balloons are just symptoms of a much deeper, more human darkness? For decades, we've known it as the monster that lives in the sewers, a creature that hunts children. But the story has always been deeper than that. The real horror isn't just that a monster exists, but why it thrives. This is the central, terrifying question that the prequel series, It Welcome to Derry, is set to explore. In this review, which is a part 4 of Pennywise review collection, I'm going to analyze the potential of the series to unearth the true nature of Pennywise as the physical manifestation of fear itself. We'll explore how this ancient evil seems to find its perfect hunting ground not just in the sewers, but in the fertile soil of trauma. Trauma planted by family, nurtured by society, and harvested in terrifying silence. This isn't just the story of a killer clown. It's the story of a town that builds its own monsters. This is Ellen the Marvelous, the movie gang star. And in this review, I'm going to discuss on the real essence of it. I'm going to talk about it. Hit the thumbs up and like the video and share it to your friends and communities. Subscribe to my channel to support me and make sure to turn the notification bell on to get notified on all of my videos, reviews and breakdowns as I uploaded them. Let's jump into it. To understand what Welcome to Derry could unpack, we first have to go back to the fundamental nature of it. As established in Stephen King's lore, Pennywise is no simple creature. It is a primordial, interdimensional entity form, a void outside our universe known as the Macroverse. Its true form is the dead light, a chaotic mass of energy so incomprehensible it drives any human who sees it insane. The clown, the leopard, the giant spider, these are just costumes, masks chosen specifically to terrify its victim. It is in essence a psychic vampire that feeds on one thing: fear. A terrified victim is like a well-seasoned meal. This is why it predominantly targets children. Their fears are primal, imaginative, and pure. A child's belief in the monster under the bed is absolute, making their terror all the more potent. The movies and the novel show us this, but Welcome to Derry has the chance to take it a step further. It can finally show us that Pennywise's 27-year hibernation cycle isn't just a random pattern, but a meticulously timed hunt that aligns with the town's own cycles of violence, bigotry, and willful ignorance. The series has the opportunity to frame Derry itself as an extension of the entity, a place where the evil has become routine and adults are conditioned to look the other way. Pennywise isn't just hiding in Derry. The town is its prison and its pantry, a cage built from human weaknesses. Fear doesn't materialize from nothing. It's a seed, and its most fertile soil is often the home. Childhood is where our first and most profound fears are planted, sometimes by the very people meant to protect us. The original story gave us tragic examples, Beverly Marsh's fear of her abusive father, and Eddie Kaspbrak's terror of illness, inspired by his own overbearing mother. These aren't just personality quirks, they are the cracks in their psyches that Pennywise pries open. Welcome to Derry dives right into the theme. Setting its story in the 1960s, an area simmering with its own anxieties, the show is a deep exploration of how generational pain and societal pressures could create the perfect buffet for it. The story appears to revolve around a new group of children, including a girl named Lily and their families, each burdened by their own specific traumas. The disappearance of a young boy, Matty, acts as the catalyst, ripping the idyllic facade of the town. We can also expect to see the Hanlon family, ancestors of the Losers Club's own Mike Hanlon. As a black family in Derry in the early 1960s, they would face the very real non-supernatural horror of racism and social division. This brings us to the very nature of what makes Derry so special. Pennywise doesn't need to invent a new fear. It simply has to amplify the prejudices and hatreds that are already there, turning people against each other. The true veil is the town's complicity, its routine of denial that allows the monster to feed, cycle after cycle. The prequel seems poised to reframe Pennywise not just as a hunter, but as a force of nature inextricably linked to the town's history. The series is expected to be built around the interludes from King's novel, the dark historical events that Mike Hanlon researched to understand its origin. Events like the burning of the Black Spot, a nightclub for black soldiers, are not just tragic history, but are expected to be shown as a flare-up in its feeding cycle, stoked by human hatred. This new perspective might also finally explain the origin of the Pennywise persona itself. In the novel, it simply calls itself Bob Gray, but it never confirmed if that was a real person. The new series reportedly explores the backstory of a real alcoholic carnival performer named Bob Gray in the early 19th. The story suggests that it saw how children were drawn to this clown and co-opted the image after killing him, twisting something meant to inspire joy into a symbol of ultimate terror. It's the perfect metaphor for how it operates, finding something innocent and corrupting it from the inside out. Going back to it, Welcome to Derry, first season episode finale, exactly the climax point in those scenes when Richie's ghost appears running to help his friends and stop it Pennywise, the evil entity. This is only Halloran and Rose who could see his appearance. But when the final battle, everyone present on the frozen river could see it as a dirty dancing clown famous as Pennywise, as it turns into a dark path, raising above children to not only stop them but to feed off of them. Everyone now can see it in the same shape as Pennywise the dancing clown, turning into a bat. Now they all fear the same and about to conquer the same. Rose sees it, shoots it. And this is the power of collective courage rising at the same time to support their own children and stop letting them being a sacrifice of this dark negative blind hole in Derry's collective consciousness. This scene also was created so artistic, philosophic, and psychological at the same time. and reminded me of one of Francisco Goya's dark etchings named Sleep of Reason Produces Monsters. In this art piece, you can see a man, seems to be an artist or maybe an author, has hid his face wrapped in arms on the table, as lots of owls, bats attacking him from behind, and there is a cat in the background observing the attack. Refers to psychic attacks happening through fears and harvesting energy of people. As you see, there is not only bats as symbol and metaphor of fear, but owls as the symbol and a metaphor of these truths. We have fear to be revealed and hide them within our mind, which causes us trauma. I believe in it. Welcome to Derry. Mise-en-scène and visual effects have been directly affected by this art piece, which turned the show into the masterpiece. In the end, it in Welcome to Derry looks solidify a terrifying truth that has always been lurking in the shadows of the story. Pennywise, then, is not the source of the evil in Derry, but its amplifier. It is the horrifying echo of the fears we create in our own homes, schools, and communities. The racial tensions, domestic abuse, the social ostracization, these are the real monsters. Pennywise is simply the entity that gives them a face. The show has the potential to demonstrate that fear is a cycle passed down from one generation to the next like a cursed inheritance. Derry isn't just a haunted town. It's a cage built by its inhabitants' refusal to confront their own darkness. The adults look away, the children suffer, and the cycle continues, feeding the ancient evil that slumbers beneath their feet. The true horror of it isn't that a monster is hunting children, but that we as a society so often create the fears that feed it. What are your thoughts on the nature of Pennywise? Do you think the evil originates from it or from the people in Derry? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the essence of fear, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more horror analysis.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man?
After all, I'm doing all these analytic reviews to become aware of our own deepest fears, causing us, all human beings have a weak point, causes us downfall. I'm working on horror shows based on Stephen King's lore, philosophy and literature as a shadow work through TV shows and movies, which is a part of a hero's journey to help you all face with your own fears, weaknesses and shadows. At the end, make sure to turn the notification bell for more. This is Ellen the Marvelous, the movie gangster. Thanks you all for watching. See you all in my next review. For now, love and light in peace.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.